You're watching what's going on in Northern Ireland, so you're watching UK legislation, and you know what's going on in the South. And can you just describe what you see?
Every EU member state must have a digital ID wallet. Doesn't mean you have to use it, but it must be available to you. But in the South, that's based on the public service card, which is a pilot scheme, which has been found to be, by the Data Commissioner, to be unlawful. So, if it's a pilot scheme, why is there not a lobby to take it down? There should have been a sunset clause on that. That's been going on for over a decade, so that's something that you could do. If we start challenging it, and it's about listening to, over the next, today and tomorrow, listening to what you can do. Don't try and do everything, you'll fail. Just try and do one thing and you might just succeed. So what I do is I'm constantly putting in the subject access requests and making sure that they're following the law, and finding quite often that they're not. But in the Freedom of Information request, challenge your local council. We're challenging them. They're the ones that are bringing in a lot of these laws on a basic level. So we're challenging them. But if everybody challenges it on the legal basis, there is no legal basis, like I said, about the public service card, but they have to force this in. The current system is I don't even know if you'd say it's a life support, it's like the body's twitching at this stage. So there's a push for legislation. They're trying to push in legislation, you will get a digital ID according to Keir Starmer. In the South, you're already there. The government already have 70% of biometric data of the population through the public service card. So, and that was found illegal. Why? Because they retained it. So they got it and retained it. So use that right. Find out everywhere even with app parking, put in a subject access request, make sure that they're not gathering data. It's not so much the data, it's when they start to combine the data that they get their real power. So challenge it at a grassroots level.
Jane, I'll give you an example. In COVID flu, right, and that nonsense, we knew in mid-2020 at a big community of investment bankers mostly around the world, but it was clear as crystal to us, there would be a vaccine, Big Pharma would pop one out of nowhere, it would be used for a vaccine passport, and the passport was to get digital ID universally, and that was for CBDC. So that's the chain of cause. That's not a conspiracy theory. In the World Economic Forum, this was openly acknowledged in a video conference that they had, that they were striving for 100% coverage, they failed. They admitted it. So all of these organisations are one long chain of management of the Western world and all the big banking families, and how we got the World Economic Forum and the UN, which is a subsidiary, and the EU, which is modelled on the Soviet system, right?
This is an extremely serious matter. It's extremely serious. And we've got to stop it. And we've got to start early. We've had the Minister announce it over Christmas when nobody was watching. This is our plan. So it's going to take them time. They can't just snap it into place. So the question then is, what's the start of the resistance? What does it look like? How do we get organised? What should we do?
We're starting today. We have this fantastic sort of grassroots Spoil Your Vote campaign, which just popped up everywhere, and it was a people's movement. It wasn't really led by anywhere, because people knew and understood at a deep, deep level that what was going on with the presidential election was not good. So they came out and spoiled their vote, and we had the highest spoil your vote in the history of the state, because everybody knew and felt it at a deep, deep level this was not right, and we made an impact. We pushed back. This isn't something that a small group of people can do. It has to be a nationwide movement, and I think it begins today with all of you.
They got their own president in, and he immediately created the Fed, which meant they had power over printing money with no limits. And they brought in income tax. America never had an income tax before 1913. And that's another massive power, because they cannot allow the people to openly debate and discuss these matters. So they can use the CIA that they actually created in the 40s. They can use the CIA to put out conspiracy theory, concepts of psychological manipulation. So everyone is trained over the last few decades to believe that any discussion like this is a conspiracy theory, and they psychologically shrink away from it. So that's a great tool. But the real power they're bringing to bear now is censorship, hate speech laws, curtailing free speech, ID to get on the internet, CBDC to shut you down if you're talking. So that's just the explanation for that's their major thrust now, to stop people pushing back. It's the biggie. It's the biggie.
Well,
The whole world eats. So everybody wants to eat good food, everybody wants to have a realistic, renewable environment where the food that's produced is not degrading your health or the environment. And that's what regenerative farming can do. Like, we have connection with online connection from internet. And that's good to a point, but 3/4 of Gen Z spend more time inside than incarcerated prisoners. They do it voluntarily. They don't get out, they don't talk to people. There's no human connection between. We need this where we actually meet, talk, chat. We need hugs, touch, we need spontaneity. That's how people fall in love. That's how people, that's how humans react, work.
The Make America Healthy Again movement, as well as tackling frankenfoods, also targeted the COVID countermeasures, especially the mRNA injections. Robert Kennedy's book, The Real Anthony Fauci, lays it out for anybody to see. I recently met Kevin McKiernan at a medical freedom conference in the Netherlands. For those of you who don't know, he was the first scientist who proved and demonstrated the high levels of DNA contamination of the mRNA products and the presence of simian virus 40 sequence, which is a known cancer promoter. The MAHA movement will not succeed until the COVID shots, including all the mRNA and self-amplifying RNA products, are removed from the market. Unequivocal evidence. Unequivocal evidence of the harms are present in studies from South Korea and Italy, demonstrating that the excess mortality observed in all heavily vaccinated countries since 2021 is confined to the vaccinated cohorts. The solution is not just for MAHA, but for the whole world. This is to stop the shots. We must recognise that the current health system is really a sickness system that operates by the mantra that a patient cured is a customer lost. Medical culture must adapt to focus on causes of illness and not just symptom management. It will be a long journey, but it starts with taking the first step. Thank you.
What I'm trying to do is set up a new system and attract people to come. So I don't advertise traditionally. How we advertise actually is we run different events and we connect again, people on the ground, we meet them, we chat them. We've cycled it into the country twice, calling into regenerative and organic farms. We cut the food on each of those farms to promote them as to how they do, what to do, and when you taste that food, you're in.
Well, good afternoon. We are here at Ashbourne outside Dublin at the first ever conference of Ireland for. It's here to gather like-minded people and discussing things about immigration, education, the media, and here is some of the people. Give us a big cheer.